What's going on, champs and champettes? It's FireMonkey here, and in today's YouTube video, my monitor just turned off right as I started the video. But in today's YouTube video, we're going to be talking about the recent Xbox refund situation, where some players were getting tens of hundreds of items revoked from their account regarding past Xbox purchases, whether it was from them or from someone who had purchased on Xbox and gifted them, and it became a very big deal. Now, of course, Epic Games originally stated that this was due to people abusing an exploit, like a refund exploit, but there were some people who constantly mentioned that, they were incorrectly affected by this. Items that they had properly purchased or whatever were getting refunded as well. So in today's video, we're going to be talking about the big announcement Epic Games has made earlier the other day, talking about the entire situation, telling you exactly what ended up happening and what the make good they're going to be doing to those affected are who didn't properly didn't abuse the system overly. So without further ado, the Fortnite status official Twitter account posted this the other day. Update on Xbox refund issue. Ordinarily, when a player receives a refund of a real money Fortnite purchase, the purchased items are removed from their account. When V-Bucks are purchased, spent, and refunded, this can cause players' V-Bucks balance to go into the negative. And the V-Bucks are removed from their account, and items most recently purchased and gifted will be refunded from the player and removed from the gift recipient account as well. Now, I assume the reason they remove it from gift accounts as well is because of the whole situation before where people were gifting unavailable items like the annual pass. If you guys remember the brilliant bomber skin that was tied to it, people would flex it because some people got to keep it due to gifting it to another account instead of just purchasing it themselves. And then they go on to mention that unfortunately the system they built for this malfunctioned on Xbox between December 2024 and July 2025. During this time, players were receiving refunds, but the refunded V-Bucks and item purchases with the actual refunded V-Bucks that you didn't technically pay for weren't actually taken away from your account. It remained on your account, the items remained on your account, the gift keeper or the people who received gifts kept the items and everything else despite no money actually being spent anywhere due to it being refunded and Xbox having this glitch that caused the system malfunction and not refund those purchases. During this time, most players continued purchasing and, refunding in good faith as usual, while some actually exploited the system in order to make large numbers of purchases, often with many accounts. There used to be people who would have gifting accounts or whatever else, and they would gift to communities or whatever, try building some social credit, I guess, or I don't know, following, I don't know. There's a reason somewhere for people having a gifting account, I'm sure, and doing these exploits in order to give tons of people the stuff they would actually want. And those people who actually exploited this even set up their own shops, like I just mentioned, and they actually mentioned this in the post, where they would accept payments from players in order to get cheaper discounted items, right? The whole entire ecosystem where the black market for Fortnite that was going on was basically people buying cheaper V-Bucks so that they would be able to actually go ahead and get maybe a $20 skin for $16 or whatever price they use. I'm not really too for sure with the black market area of Fortnite and how much of those things cost, but it was something they were doing, and it was enticing to the normal player because, oh, you mean to tell me I can get a discount on an item I want in Fortnite? I mean, normally saying, as long as you feel like you're actually going to get the item, it's like, why wouldn't you want a discount? Why wouldn't you want to save some money? I think that's definitely something, especially nowadays, that people would love to do, is just save a little bit more money. But because of this exploit, people were unknowingly buying these cheaper V-Bucks or cheaper gifts or whatever else from accounts that never actually ended up having, that whole entire ecosystem set up, or never actually ended up having the money in their account. It was stuff they bought and then instantly refunded. Now, they go on to mention that starting September 4th, Epic began processing the backdated orders and actually ended up making it so that any refunded things from before actually went through on that September 4th day. So, 3 or 4 days ago, it actually ended up happening. And then this caused confusion for many players because they weren't aware of why items are just randomly getting removed. The in-game system is just saying, hey, an item you had purchased has gotten refunded, right? It doesn't really tell you too much information, just that something got refunded, shrug, figure it out later, right? That was basically all the in-game feed tells you. Before, it used to tell you if a gifted item was getting refunded from your account, but I'm not too for sure if they do that anymore, because I haven't seen any screenshots where people showed that a gifted item was also removed. Now, they're making a correction to distinguish between accounts that made ordinary refund requests and accounts that exploited the refund system. So if you're someone who had items refunded from you and you play on Xbox, keep this in mind. What they're going to be doing is if you made less than 7 refunds from that December 2024 to July 2025 period, you will get every item you had actually obtained back. Now, I'm not for sure about items that were gifted to you. It might depend on the original person's account that gifted it. But yeah, if you're someone who had items that you personally bought and everything else refunded, and that wasn't actually, something that you thought that was going to happen or whatever else, you should be receiving all of those goodies back on your account as long as it was under 7 refunds. Now, if you're someone who did over 7 refunds, and, items that were received through gifting from players or whatever else was over 7 refunds, this is going to stay gone from your account. You're not going to be able to get your items back. So it can suck for some people, especially if you mainly got your items from gifts, because if you had an item refunded from a gift and that person was abusing the system, even though you're not at fault, you still get punished from it. Those items that, may not come back for like a year or two, depending on how Epic plays rarity systems nowadays. If that got refunded from you and it was a gift from someone who did over 7 refunds between that period, then you're just kind of out of luck, right? You're not going to be able to get your stuff back. It sucks, but, it just is a way to realize, hey, maybe Fortnite's gifting system isn't the best system to be using, especially if you want certain items in the game. And then, of course, if you're someone who did abuse this exploit overall originally and, did your own store or whatever, Epic doesn't like you, you're just kind of screwed, right? You're just going to be a part of that whole entire area where they're not going to actually give you any of those items or return any of those gifts you sent back to anyone else, and you're just probably going to be in the negative V-Bucks until you spend enough money to get out of there, whether that's, doing it the normal way, or maybe they'll find another shady way to do it. But if you were curious what was going on with the whole entire Xbox refund thing, it was based on actually refunding purchases and the whole entire system they had in place not actually revoking items when you decided to do a refund. So they backdated a lot of it, right? And it caused this whole entire situation where maybe you unknowingly, wanted to refund a few things here and there, and it ended up making it so that you got it revoked from your account because Epic Games thought, maybe this person was trying to take advantage of our systems. With all that said, however, hope you champs and champions enjoyed today's YouTube video. Hope it made it a little bit more clear what was going on with the whole entire situation. I know I've seen some TikToks here and there of people losing tens of hundreds of items, just clicking through, stuff I think even Renegade Raider was in that category of stuff people were losing and stuff like that. So, there was a lot of things I saw people actually miss out on. Jam tracks getting revoked, all that type of stuff, which jam tracks definitely hurts nowadays when we don't have every single jam track in the item shop anymore, right? We only have that curated selection of 40 or 50 jam tracks. With that said, however, hope you champs and champions enjoyed today's YouTube video. Like the video if you liked it, dislike if you didn't like it, and I'll catch you guys tomorrow with another upload. So until then, peace out.